It says we are live on Facebook. How exciting, and good morning. So while I just make sure that my phone is on silent, etc., it'll give you time to join me and I'll be able to see if I'm live. Oh, that's yesterday's, that's no use to me. Let's just see if I can bring it. There we are. I can see me. And if I open that, I can see that Heather Jackson is here this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And Karen is joining me. So I've come on a little earlier today before we start, just to give you time to join me. And so that I can get settled and make sure everything is here and working. Theodora is here. Sarah Jane, good morning. I always call you Sarah Jane, because it says Sarah Jane Fletcher, and I know really you're Sarah, but this is awesome. Morning, Karen, how are you? Oh, it's fabulous and lovely to be here today. It's very exciting. Now then, we will be starting in a minute. I'm just going to give, just wait a few more minutes. I can see that you're all here and I can see the comments, which is awesome. Because what I loved yesterday was the interaction that was happening and I could see the comments going and you chatting together, and that was really quite special for me. Good morning, Sue Pine, she is watching. Good morning, Katie, how are you? Oh, it's lovely. Buongiorno, Sue, buongiorno. Yes, I thought I'd come on live. Yesterday, I felt a little bit rushed, and then I had to jump into it, and I didn't get the chance to find out that Sue was in the garden. And Janet Pegram, how are you? I need to call you back. Good morning, Lynn. I've already been messaging Lynn this morning. Oh, and Sarah says she doesn't mind being called Sarah or Sarah Jane, which is also awesome. Fiona is here. Let's go down. Oh, it's super exciting. I can see you all jumping on live, and I'm so happy because today's a good one. It's a juicy one. I've got plenty of water, but I've got 2 cups. 2 cups just in case I need them, because I felt I was getting a bit dry. Okay, and I'll clean my glasses so I can see you all, and hopefully I can see what is happening over here. Just thinking, I've plugged these in and you may not be able to hear me. One moment. Now, potentially, you can hear me again. I had them plugged in already, so I don't know if you could hear me or not. Probably not. What I was saying is it's super exciting to be here. I'd come on a little bit earlier. Hopefully, if you could let me know that you can hear me, since no one said that they couldn't hear me, I'm going to guess you could, whether I had these in my ears or not. So if you could just let me know that you can hear me now, that would be great. Give me a thumbs up or just let me know and we will get started. Good morning, Trish. How are you? I guess you must have been able to hear me because some of you were answering. We could hear you. How bizarre. Can you hear me now? You are coming through loud and clear. Brilliant. The reason I wanted to put these on is because I'm hoping it just keeps at bay any noise around the house because kids are at home. Anyway, let's get started. Thank you everyone for joining me. So today is day 2 of Reignite Your Marketing, and it's a really, really juicy one. So let's just recap. So yesterday, some of the things I was focusing on was talking about your vision and your goal and making sure that you were connected with that and that you were aligning your marketing with that. And I talked about connecting everything in. We also talked about changing how you talk about marketing, changing your feeling towards marketing, and start to be really aware of how you're talking about marketing and how you feel. So if you had a go at working through the workbook, I know it was quite meaty, wasn't it? But it needed to be. And if you've had anything come up while you've been working through the workbook from yesterday, just let me know. And hopefully you've all received your workbook for today. So yesterday was talking about the goals, the bigger vision, how your marketing really needs to be connected with both, and the importance of doing that. And also the importance of dreaming big. When we dream big, we create motivation and momentum, and we can move forward towards that. Today, I want to talk more about that all-important 5-star, awesome and perfect for you client. And I referred to them many, many times yesterday. And today's workbook really, really focuses on you almost, I guess, standing in their shoes. And it's really important that you do this. Okay, your marketing will change completely when you truly understand who your perfect and awesome client is. And I wanted to talk about them today in a way that, you remember yesterday I talked about benefits and solutions and results. Okay, so we talked a little bit about solutions, but a lot about benefits and results, and how when you use those in your marketing, it attracts the right person, it attracts your awesome 5-star, perfect for you client. Now, in the past, I really struggled with this whole thing around we must niche. When I started my business many years ago, everyone was talking about niching and the importance of me niching and how I needed to know what my niche was and who I wanted to work with. And I really, really struggled with it. I will be honest with you. I found it almost impossible, mainly because of the business that I was in. And actually, I didn't really mind. I had some people in certain industries or business sectors that I didn't want to work with, but I was pretty clear and happy to work with anyone from anywhere. But this niche thing really, really bothered me. And then I started to work with some business coaches who talk about your awesome, perfect for you client, your soul client in a very, very different way. And it's about really understanding who they are. And their characteristics and their values and what's important to them. And the minute I was able to switch into this, moving away from niching, but really understanding and properly getting into the shoes and the head of my perfect client, it became much, much easier. What I've also been learning about with my latest coach as well is the importance of mirroring so that you are your perfect client. So I have a system that I use here in the business, and it simply says who they are. But I don't talk about geographical areas. I don't talk about age. I don't particularly talk about gender, although I'm moving towards more talking about women because I feel that's where I can give the greatest value by working with women. But when you start to think about your client, I want you to really think about what they look and feel like. What are they challenging? And yes, geographic may be important, the demographic may be important, and that's okay to use, but don't get hung up on that. Don't get hung up on they need to be 25 to 45, they need to be female, they need to be the mother of 4. Don't get hung up on that. Think about what they're really struggling with and what's really important to them and where they are in their journey. And that is absolutely essential to understanding where they are stuck, because the minute we understand where they're stuck, we can present solutions in a way that really resonates with them. So we need to understand what they want to achieve, what they're struggling with, what they want to achieve in their lives or in their business, and often those two things are related. So I want you to start thinking about your perfect, awesome 5-star client. And I want you to really understand who they are. And one of the ways you can do that is to look at some of the clients that you already work with, or some of your customers, or some of your patients even. Equally, you can start looking at some of your past. You know, when you've worked with someone who was absolutely awesome, why were they awesome? Why were they awesome? Was it because they paid on time? Was it because they were open to learning? Was it because they were ready for change? Was it because they wanted to change? Was it because they were ready to work with you? That's one of the things on my list. They need to be ready to work with me. They need to understand the value of a business coach. So really dig deep. And I think this is when you'll start to get to the point where your marketing will change, and it will change really quickly, smartly, and you'll begin attracting those perfect, awesome for you clients. Because actually it doesn't matter what they look like and what they dress like, but it does matter what they feel like and what their characteristics are. I mean, for me, or let's not use me as an example, let's use some other examples, because I used me as an example a lot yesterday. I used many of my stories yesterday. I'm sure they'll come up again. So let's think about it. So is it that your particular client needs to be at the absolute pain point that they're ready? Or is it that you want to work with clients who are at that point of awareness? Where is it in their journey you want to work with them? Is it important to working with you or buying your products or services or buying into your offerings, that they're in a particular point in their journey. And quite often the journey and the point that they're at is not only essential to understanding from a marketing perspective, but also from a selling perspective. And I mentioned pricing yesterday, and I alluded to selling yesterday, but you do need to be selling in your business. And actually, you want selling to be a much easier process. When you get your marketing right, because you are resonating with your totally awesome 5-star client, and you know that you want to work with them, and you know they want to work with you, and they're ready to work with you, the selling process becomes much easier. And we all know how challenging and uncomfortable selling is. So get your marketing right, and suddenly your selling becomes much, much easier. So defining your client is absolutely essential to flipping that switch and making marketing easier to attract, on automation, your perfect, awesome client. So I want you to really start to dig deep, and you'll notice some of the questions in the workbook for today really help you dig a little deeper. Hope you're not peeking at it right now. You need to understand where they're at. You also need to understand what's preventing them from moving forward. Again, this is really valuable to your marketing copy. And when I talk marketing copy, I'm doing that in a very general term. That's every time you put a Facebook post out. That's every time you write a blog. That's every time you go to a networking event. So when I talk about marketing copy, it's how you resonate, how you communicate and educate your perfect for you client. So what is preventing them from moving forward, and how can you help them overcome some of those challenges and issues? Now, sometimes you can overcome those in your copywriting, in the way that you communicate and educate, and sometimes it needs to be done in the sales process. But unless you understand where they are in the journey and what's preventing them from moving forward, or even preventing them from investing in you, it's really challenging for you to get your copy right. So it's really important that you understand not only who your perfect for you client is, and when I say perfect, I mean those that are absolutely the ones that you want to work with. Remember, I just want to pick up on something actually. Just remember, it's a big like going for a job interview. When you go for a job interview, I know none of us are going to go for a job interview, just bear with me. When you go for a job interview, I always say to anyone who's heading out for a job interview, please remember that you are interviewing the employee, the employer, as much as they are interviewing you. It needs to be a really good match, because when it isn't a good match, it won't work. It won't work for the employee, and it won't work for the employer. And that's exactly the same when we're looking at our awesome 5-star client. There needs to be a perfect match. So absolutely, really dig deep on who your client is, but equally understand why you want to work with them, why it's really important for you to work with them, and why they will want to work with you. We did some of that work if you've gone through the workbook yesterday, we did some of that work yesterday. Why you're so awesome at what you do, and why someone would want to work with you. But please remember, it's a two-way street. So that marketing process that you use enables you to make sure that when they get to the point of selling, that they are absolutely right and they're going to buy for you. So it's really important that you understand both who they are, get that right, who they are, where they're stuck and what the challenges are, and also understand what is preventing them from moving forward. And that may include preventing them from investing with you right now. There will always be some challenges. We all do it. You know yourself if you buy into anything. There are those questions in your head. Is it right for me? Am I going to get the results? And in your marketing, you have an opportunity to help people overcome some of those barriers to moving forward, whether that's moving forward in their business or whether that's moving forward in their life, or however that is that they're going to buy your products and services. Let me just check down on these comments here. In fact, it'd be easy if I just picked up my phone, wouldn't it? Let's just see what's coming through. Okay, let's just see if you've got any questions. Rachel's saying that she agrees, and Lynn's saying, because she works in recruitment, absolutely on the job interview. So actually, thank you for putting that in, Lynn, because actually, if it's that important, we can see it in a job interview, why do we not see the importance of pre-qualifying our clients, our perfect, awesome for you clients? And there is nothing wrong with pre-qualification. And actually your marketing enables you to do that in a huge number of ways. But I don't want to talk about marketing methods just yet. Today, it is all about your perfect client. And when you understand who they are, what their challenges are, and where they're stuck, and how to get them to overcome the little voice of doubt that's saying, you shouldn't buy this, you can change the way you're marketing your business, and you can do some of the pre-qualification that is so valuable in your marketing. It's often why sales becomes really, really challenging, particularly if you do sales calls, because you're doing a lot of the marketing work in your sales calls. So we want to be doing as much as we can. We want to be resonating. We want to be educating. We want to be bringing our client on that journey with us. We want to, and that's why I love communication and educating instead of the word marketing. Excuse me. Let me just, I've got a tickle in my throat. Excuse me, it's hay fever. Don't panic, it's nothing else. Okay, so defining who your perfect client is, and apologies if I keep looking down because I have made notes and it's really important I get this across for you because I want you to make the most from your workbook. So defining your perfect for you client is absolutely essential for being able to change your marketing. It also, do you remember yesterday I was talking about, I sort of alluded to the energy and making sure that we have the right energy behind our marketing. When we know who our client is, when we have absolutely defined them, and when we've already decided who's perfect for us to work with and who would be perfect to work with us or buy our products or services, it really becomes much easier to help them through the processes and help them through that pre-qualification and helping you towards sales. So defining your client, please, 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 because when you do it and when you truly understand who they are, where they're stuck, where they are in the journey, and how that's important to you, you'll start to understand and see how you can use that valuable information in your marketing to make your marketing easier. Because don't forget, the whole point of well, there were two reasons. Reignite your marketing is in case you fell off the marketing wagon, but equally I want to ignite your passion for marketing so that you can see how easy it can be. So you can start claiming way more clients, money and time. Time that you can spend in the business or out of it, you get to decide. Money that gives you freedom of choice to do what you want in your business or out of it. And of course, by working with way more clients, you're fulfilling your purpose, your passion, your vision, which is what we talked about yesterday. So understanding your client, where they're at, is so important because you can use it in your marketing. And all of this is leading to the sort of the next section, which is why you need to fall in love with your audience. And I think I've already alluded to that many, many times already this morning, that and I definitely did yesterday. So your perfect for you client wants to work with you because they already love you. And sometimes we forget that, or we're not aware of that, which is what yesterday was all about. And it's really important that, and I keep saying the word important, so I'm going to stop trying to say that. So it's about understanding why your client wants to work with you, which is linked to the results, where they are in their journey. And one of the ways to really fall in love with your audience is to work out, and not just to fall in love with your audience, but to understand where your marketing isn't working, is to look at where in your business you're attracting the not perfect for you clients. Now, there's some caveats to what I'm going to say, I guess. No, I guess there are. When we first start our businesses, I think it's safe to say that all of us are pretty grateful for anyone that wants to buy our products or services or wants to work with us. And it's often the boost we need, and it will send us on a journey. When we get further into the journey, it's essential that you can see where your marketing is attracting the not right for you, the not perfect for you. And of course, if you've done the work to understand who's perfect, you can probably start to see that much quicker, which is why it's a process that I would take any client through, no matter where they are in their own business journey, whether they haven't even started, whether they're fledgling, whether they've been in business for a few years, or whether they've been in business for 10 years. We always go back to who is your perfect and ideal client for you. A couple of reasons why. When you know who is perfect for you, you will most likely start to see very clearly who is not. And then you can make sure that your marketing is not attracting them. But two, you can start to see how you can, how important the pre-qualifying processes in your marketing, but each will equally come up with some ways so that you don't accept anyone that is not perfect for you. Now, as you know, and if you've listened to me anytime, you know that I'm very much a believer in the law of attraction and manifesting your desires and your need, your beliefs, not your beliefs, manifesting your desires. Leave it at that, Lindsay. Okay, so if you are working in your business with not perfect clients for you, you are sending a message to the universe that says that's what you love working with, and they will send more to you. Okay, so it's really, so absolutely, if you're working with the wrong client, and when I say wrong, okay, it means they're not perfect for you. It doesn't mean that they're not good in business. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means they're not right for you. But if you're working with them, you're sending a message to the universe to say, these are my perfect clients, send me more. And the universe will respond and send you more. Have you ever noticed that? So let's use an example. So imagine that you're a virtual assistant and you've been doing some work with a client and it's social media based, but actually you don't really enjoy it and it's not what you want to do. But you're getting more and more inquiries. The reason you're getting more inquiries is because you sent a message to the universe. And if you don't believe in the universe answering, okay, that client is telling everyone that you're doing an awesome job. That client is telling everyone that you're great at doing it on social media and that they should be coming to you. So you're naturally attracting, it's the balance between, doing, mindset, and whether you believe in the universe or not. I'm a big fan of the universe. So can you see, even if you don't believe in the universe, that if you're working with the wrong kind of client, you're naturally going to attract more, and it will have a negative impact in your marketing, because without even realizing or unconsciously, you will start marketing to that person because that's who you're working with. So get clear on who your audience is so that you can see where you're already not working with your perfect client. And I know it's going to be really challenging, but I highly recommend you get rid of them. Even if you're not, another thing, so they might not be perfect for you, or equally you may, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words because I'm trying to get a lot out today. Equally, it may be that they're not, it might be that they're perfect for you, but actually it's not the work that drives you, that fulfills you, that enables you to achieve your bigger vision and goal. So it might be time to look at your client base and see where there needs to be some changes. So let me just check. I would say this is You Can't Please a Chicken Farmer article. It is. It's so, I don't want to use the word important. I have to think of some new words. I have to write some words down for myself instead of important. Now, I want you to fall in love with your audience, so your perfect for you client, and that audience that you want to engage with, so that you continue to attract them. And as I say, it's really key that you look at your business right now and see where you are not working with your perfect client. And have you been attracting them through your marketing? How are you attracting them? Or is this person just, you're doing such an awesome job for you that they're telling the world how amazing you are? And yes, I will be really honest with you, and this is going to be really, really scary, is you might have to give up some clients. There's another reason for doing this. You want to create, I know you want more time in your business. I know that you want and need more time in your business to grow and develop it. I know that you want more time and need more time because you're sick of working evenings. You don't want to work weekends anymore. And it's not just about developing the business. You want to, I don't know, go thinking about Karen, you want to do more horse riding, or you want to spend more time with your kids, or you want to learn to tend your garden better, or you want to take up yoga, whatever it is. And if you're working with the wrong clients, one, it's more challenging, it takes more of your energy, which impacts the energy and everything else you're doing, and you're not creating more time. So if it's that you are already working with a number of not perfect for you clients, I would highly recommend that you do some work and see what you can do to change that in your business, because the universe can't deliver your perfect for you clients if there's no room. I've talked about it before in lives, actually, here in the group, about that whole thing around using your wardrobe as an example, where there's absolutely no room in your wardrobe. It's jam-packed. So you have to go in there and say, okay, I haven't worn that for 6 months, I haven't worn that for 2 years. Christ, I haven't got into that since I was 10 years younger, whatever it is. And you need to make space in your wardrobe to bring new in. Because otherwise you'll just be bringing new clothes in and shoving them in and not showing them the value and the respect of your new clothes. So let's just switch that back to clients. I didn't know I was going to use that analogy, but it works quite well, actually. So when you then bring on new clients, you're just kind of squeezing them in and you're not really valuing them, even if they're perfect for you, because you've got all these clients that you're working with that aren't perfect, or you're doing the work that doesn't float your boat and doesn't achieve your bigger vision or goal. It is key that you look at this. So I highly recommend that you do some work around looking at where in the business are you, where in your marketing are you attracting the wrong type of client, and where are you working already with the wrong kind of client. I just actually thank you, Aaron, for putting that up about your family. I don't know what that article is, but I must read it, but it's reminded me of something else. And it's also really important, and this may be more valuable to you if you're at the beginning of your journey, and we've all done it, where we're just really grateful for clients who want to work with us and give us money. Who wouldn't be? Just be aware that when you work with the not perfect for you clients, or clients that are not fulfilling your purpose, without realizing and unconsciously, you tend not to do your best work in some shape or form. And that also can mean that the relationship can end badly. And using coaching as an example, it's a really good example, actually, coaching, that if I accepted someone into any of my programs, or to encourage someone to work with me on a one-to-one basis now, knowing that they were not perfect for me, even if I did my best work, they are not going to get the best out of it because we're not a match. That being a match with your perfect client, mirroring your perfect client, walking the talk, and doing and being everything that you want your client to be is so important. And that's about you being connected with your client. And that's kind of, when I'm looking down at my notes here, to be able to attract your perfect client, you need to be your perfect client. Now, that might be slightly easier in my business, but just thinking about if you're a beautician or a hairdresser. I use hairdressing as an example. If somebody had really badly coloured hair, Aaron, probably not a good example for you, but if you had really, if you went to the hairdressers, a new hairdresser, and you'd been attracted to go there because everyone was raving about it, and it was all lovely. But when you got there, the hairdresser had appalling hair, really bad cut, really bad colour. Would you sit in the chair? I don't think I would. So it's important that that connection with your client, I need to mirror. One of the things I pride myself is walking the talk, and anything I share with you, I'm doing. Or if I share something with you that I've tried and it's not worked for me, I will tell you. Or anything I've learned from someone else, I will tell you I've learned it from somebody else. And that's about my authenticity and about being extremely genuine. And I noticed at the beginning of the year, and I'll share this story, it is one of my stories, but I'll share it because I think it explains it really well, and how mirroring your client makes a real difference. So I use the hairdressing. It's the same as, if you went to buy some products off a beautician and actually their skin was terrible, unless there was a good reason for it. I'm not sure that you would believe in what they were telling you. So at the beginning of this year, I hadn't worked with a business coach for a little while, and I felt like I was off key, and I knew I needed to do something. And then I started to connect with some business coaches that had been on my peripheral for a little while and started to do some of their free programs. What came up for me was, this is great that I'm doing their free stuff, but what message am I sending out to my potential clients that I'm not willing to invest in myself? And there were two things that came out of it. Free content, depending on what business you're in, but not to talk about methods, but free content is a great way to connect and educate and communicate with your perfect and ideal for you client, to give them an idea of how you work. And what happened in this particular incident, well, you know what I mean. What happened was, I thought, if I can achieve these shifts and changes in the way I work on my mindset with this free stuff, what could I achieve by buying into her program? And I bought into her high level program because of that. And part of it was this realization that I wasn't mirroring my client. How could I expect anyone to invest in me if I wasn't willing to invest myself? Do you see where the mismatch is? So it's one of those things that it's another one of the mindset changes. It's another thing to be consciously aware of, how you are not mirroring your client and where there is a mismatch there, so that you can change that. And that will come from really falling in love with your perfect and ideal client. Because when you fall in love with them, you want the very best for them. When you want the very best for them, you want the best for you as well. And when I want the best for me, I want the best for you. It's this wonderful cycle of abundance, particularly in the coaching industry, but in any industry at all. I'm thinking about Aaron there with his websites. When he does his best work and someone has an awesome website that does everything that they want to do, that's creating real energy in his business. That's creating energy in another business, and so the abundance flows. He will continue to attract the absolute perfect for him clients, because he's done a great job for his perfect client, and his client over here will tell everyone how wonderful he is. So actually your marketing becomes different, because you are getting the right kind of client for the right reasons, because you're doing your best work. When we're not mirroring, when we don't know who our best client is, or we're already working with a client that's not a match, you've immediately dampened, is the only way, the energy level is down, and everything you do around your marketing will become really difficult. And actually you want to be inspired by your awesome clients who, remember, they already love you, they already want to work with you. And if they're not working with you right now, it's because you haven't presented to them the solution that they need, or not presented it in a way that's made them go, I need this, I've got to have this, I have this product, this service, I need to work with this woman, this man, I need to change my website, or I need a new haircut, or I need Botox, whatever it is. You haven't quite just put it in front of them in the right way yet. When you change your whole view of marketing, that shifts. And you will start attracting those clients that you really want to work with, and that are ready to work with you with far greater ease. Okay, so I hope that's made sense so far. It's about falling in love with your client, really understanding who they are, really connecting, making sure that you are mirroring them. And before I leave this particular section, I want to remind you, your perfect for you client already loves you, even if they haven't met you. Your perfect, awesome 5-star client already wants to work with you. You just need to put it in front of them. You need to connect with them in the right way, and they're ready to buy, even during these challenging times. And I want you to act knowing that. I want you to know that whatever you put there, put out into the universe, however you're putting it out there, however you're sending out your marketing message, that you are absolutely going to connect with your perfect client. How awesome is that, to know that whatever you put out will connect with your perfect, awesome client? Take the pressure off. Learn them as much as you can about your perfect client. Learn as much as you can about you. Check in, make sure you're mirroring. Make sure that you're a perfect match. Change your marketing to start attracting, and know that it's going to be perfect. It was one of the things that I had a business coach last year that I worked with, and it was a message that she shared with me often. Her name is Gina Gabellini. crazy American lady. So as you can imagine, she suited me to a T. But she would always tell you that your perfect client is waiting. And it was something that really stuck with me. And I have some 5-star beliefs around my client. And I totally believe that my 5-star, perfect, awesome client consumes whatever I put out there with delight, whether it's free or whether it's paid offering. And I keep that in mind every time I put something out, that I will always resonate with the right person. And they are always out there just waiting for me. I just have to put it in front of me at the right time and in the right way. But I don't have to worry about that because they consume it with delight. And I love this concept of my perfect me audience consuming with delight. So one of the key things you can do, and the workbook will help you do that, is look for where you are a mismatch, where you're not mirroring, where your marketing is not attracting the perfect client, and where in the business you are already working with not the right client. So I hope that has made sense so far. Aaron's saying, let me just say, so yeah, we sacked our bad clients a while ago, or turned them into decent ones by setting rules. Oh my goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you. And they appreciated it more. Kerry's saying, I started sacking clients a while ago to make room for the perfect ones. We say this in the salon. Yeah, and Sarah's saying, we just need to be brave and do it. I just want to come back to that. And thank you, Aaron, for putting that in there. There is something quite special. So I love both of you, sack off those clients. Get rid of them, those bad clients. Sometimes you will get a gut feeling. Sometimes you will know that that client is right for you. Sometimes you know with all your heart that you can make a change, a difference, and that you can help them. And sometimes you need to help them become your perfect for you clients. Now you may be able to, as Aaron's stated in there, that sometimes you can just change them like that by putting some rules in place and turning them into an awesome client. Sometimes you have to know that you have to let them go for a while so that they can become your 5-star awesome client. So remember, when you're saying no to someone, so if somebody's coming into your business for the first time and you're saying no because they're not perfect for you, or that you're not a match, or that there's not quite the connection, or you don't feel that they're in the right place, do you know what? It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, no, you're not right for me right now, or even say, I don't think you're right for me. I've been doing some amazing work with a different coach this year. And she brought in a lady from the States to do a training session around selling, actually. And her programs cost $100,000. No small money, not small change, as they say. But one of the things that she was saying is that, it's really okay to saying no, and really okay to saying you need to do X, Y, and Z. And she gave several examples, both of her own stories and stories of the clients that she works with, who have said, you really need to go and do this before you come back to me. And you know what? That's okay too. Now, if you've got clients that are already working for you and you recognize that there's a mismatch somewhere, do what Aaron did. See if you can make it work, because sometimes you can. And that I truly believe comes from intuition and gut feeling. You know when you can make something work. You know when you are still the match that you need to be, and there are things that can happen. And so there are two ways of looking at that. Potentially somebody may come to you and you know that you're not a perfect match right now, and it might be that they need to do X, Y, and Z. Send them to do X, Y, and Z, and then encourage them to come back to you. If they're perfect for you, they will come back to you. And you know what? If they don't come back to you, so thinking about business coaching, if I send someone off and they don't come back to me, but I know they do the work and they find a business coach that is moving them forward, do you know what? I'm really, really happy. I'm happy because I've been able to drive them in the right direction for them. And that's awesome. And if between now and a period of time, they found themselves another business coach, or they found what works for them, I am always super excited. I've had a number of people recently who I would have loved to have worked with, but they weren't quite ready. And in fact, one of them came back to me and said, I'm not ready to work with you. I can't afford to invest in you right now. But also I want to get this done because I know then I will be ready for you. So sometimes they make that decision for you. So yeah, sometimes it's not just about sacking them off. Sometimes it's about working it out, either before they come and work with you, and they will. If they're perfect for you, they'll always come back. And that has happened to me. When people have said no, they have come back. So believe me, it does happen. And equally what Aaron is saying there is about sometimes you can make it work. Okay, I just want to scroll down. And I just want to pick up that comment, Sarah. Yeah, it is something that you have to be brave. And I think when I first started my business, I wasn't brave enough. And I worked with clients that were not right for me because they were hard work. And I did start my business like you, Sarah, as a virtual assistant. And when they're hard work, you need to let them go. But it's not an easy process. And I'm not expecting you all to go back to your business and start sucking off clients left, right, and centre. It might be that you want to go through some kind of process and do it in a way, starting with one and then the next and the next. You don't have to do it all at once, because I also recognise it's important that we have momentum in our businesses and we have money coming into our businesses. So you don't need to do it all at once. Oh, Sue said something about Tim Ferriss. Bad matches are draining of time and energy. I did read bad marches. I think you mean matches. Yeah, Sue, you're absolutely, yeah, it's only you corrected yourself. Absolutely. It is, they are draining of time and energy. Sometimes you can change it, but not always, and just be okay with that. And bad matches will absolutely drain your time and energy, and that's not what you want. It's not what I want for you. So let's just have a think about that. What do I want for all of my clients? I want you to claim way more clients, time, and money. Put them in any order, change the words up if you like. Whether you want to have freedom instead, the word freedom instead of time, doesn't matter. I want you to claim way more time, clients, and money. Okay? And when you are a bad match, you are not able to do that. You're blocking the universe from helping you, and you are blocking yourself from helping yourself. Okay, thank you for popping in, Sue, and putting that. And Kerry's saying she put in a cancellation policy, and it weeded out those. Yeah, that's a great idea. There's so many ways that you can do that. Sarah's just saying, cancellation policy sounds like a great idea. Yeah, so there are lots of things and ways that, there are steps you can put in your business to start weeding people out, so you don't have to start sacking them off as soon as I get off this call. Okay, so please don't think that you have to do that. So thank you for Kerry for popping that in. That's really, really useful. Thank you. The last section of this training, I want you to start thinking about where you're meeting your clients, where they're at. Okay, so let me explain. You have now absolute clarity on who your perfect client is. You know who you want to work with. You know that you're a match. You have worked out where you're not mirroring, and you're sorting out your own mindset stuff. And you are sending all the right messages, and your business is working to weed out those that aren't a good match. So all that is great stuff, and absolutely key to your marketing, to improving your marketing message, to make your message easier, to make your message attract to your perfect few clients with ease, without you having to worry, without you having to get your knickers in a twist about trying to be this person, that person. You just have to be the authentic you, and you will connect. I also want you to start thinking about where you're meeting them. Now, this process that I've taken you through, even this morning and in the workbook, is about looking at where they are and where you want to meet them. So thinking about your marketing and how you work and the message that you put out there. Are you meeting your client in the right place? And then I want you to start thinking about how you're showing them the way. Remember, this section is about getting them excited. I want your clients to be so damned excited. They are getting their credit cards out. They are opening their wallets or their purses. I want them to, be so damned excited about working with you, because they know what the results and benefits are, because they know they're going to get those benefits and results, because you are bringing with them, you're coming with them, you're bringing solutions to them, and you're going to move them forward, whether that's in their business or whether that's personally, or whether that's just making them feel better about themselves in some shape or form. Okay. But we need to make sure that we're meeting them in the right spot. And that's why it's key that you know who your client is and know where you want to meet them, and know what, that. Thinking about some of the things I said at the beginning, are they ready? Using my business,
Are they ready to work with me? Do they understand the value of a business coach? Those two things are really key to my ideal client. I need to know that they understand the benefits of working with a business coach and they're ready to embrace it and they're ready to embrace the process. And they're so damned excited they can't wait to jump in. That's how I want you to market your business, and that's how I want your clients to feel about you and your business and your products and your services and your offering. Okay, so you need to meet them at the right place. And then I want you to lead them. I want you to show them what's possible. I want you to show them what they can achieve. Often what happens in marketing, do you remember yesterday I talked about where marketing goes wrong? I just want to see if I had it still with me. Where those biggest mistakes made in marketing. And one of them was focusing on the how. You don't want to be focusing on the how because you need to lead them. You need to bring them. So marketing, remember, educating, communicating, nurturing, bringing them on a journey. It is rare, particularly in my business, it is rare that someone's going to pick up the phone and go, yes, Lindsay, I've never heard of you before and I want your services. I'm about to give you 10 grand for your highest level program. Boom. That doesn't happen. What I need to do is take them on a journey. And sometimes I need to take my clients on a journey through the training and the offering that I have before they would get anywhere near that. Not because they're not ready, but because they know nothing about me. So marketing enables you to communicate, to nurture, and to bring them through that journey with you. And so that you can build that relationship like trust, like known trust, I think it is off the top of my head. So, okay, does that make sense? So what can happen in your marketing is we kind of meet them in this spot, and our marketing kind of says, yeah, I've got this, this, and this for you. What do you think is going to happen? I'll go, You need to show them. You need to lead them. And that's why results and benefits are far more important than telling them that they're going to have 8 group calls or they're going to have this, that, and the other. They don't need to know that. They need to see that you are going to show them the way, lead the way. You need to lead them. And that is one of the key things that I have certainly changed in the way that I'm looking. I want to lead my clients to a better place. I want them to know that there is that better place. And sometimes, particularly in my work, I can see higher than they can. Sometimes I can see greater potential than they can because they're stuck here. And that's my role. I want to open up the possibilities. I want to open up the opportunities so that they can see as big as I can. Now, they can choose that they don't have to choose that just because I can see it. They may not want to be there. They may want to be here. But if I meet them where they're at and show them what's possible, that's a far better way of connecting and communicating with my ideal audience and just saying, okay, I know that you're really struggling with your marketing and I've got a great marketing program that you will do and then you will be great at marketing. It doesn't even feel very nice, does it? I wouldn't buy it. Because actually, I want to know that through changing the way I'm marketing my business, I can increase my income. I can claim way more clients, money, and time. So that's another example of how when you're really clear, when you are clear, when I am clear on what our greatest purpose is and what we really want to achieve for people, our marketing becomes easier and we can lead and show. We have a responsibility to show people what is possible, particularly in my business, that I want people to see how much is possible for them so that they can open up the opportunities. To give you an example of, to explain that a little bit better, if I'm not explaining it well, if you set an income target, say you're saying, I want to get 5 grand. I'm going to get a 5 grand month. I'm going to get a 10 grand month, a 50 grand month, pick a figure, I don't know, whatever's relevant to you. And then something happens and it doesn't quite work out. So you go, maybe that's not quite right. Maybe a 4 grand month would be good. So you go on and you do a bit more. It's not quite working. Maybe a 3 grand month would be nice. Aim for a 10 grand month. You're more likely to hit a 5 grand month. So in your marketing, it's really important that you are clear on what you want so that you can show them the way. And that example of money, when my responsibility, or I see that my role is to show you what the greatest possibilities are so I can lead you there. So you can take yourself there because otherwise potentially you're going to keep yourself stuck. And that's what happens in my business. People get stuck. They get stuck with their marketing, where they are, they're unclear, and I open up the channels of opportunities. I might use that, that's good. And it's just come to me. Amazing what you can come to. Should really write that down because I'll forget later. Okay, so I'm opening up the opportunities. What are you doing? What opportunities are you presenting? What can you make possible? So just thinking, because I know that Karen's online, just thinking, you know, living a better life. So for a person that is, you know, perhaps suffering from depression or have recovering from an illness, or just feel that they're stuck in their lives and can't see past it. Just thinking about some other examples, you know, somebody who has been a stay-at-home mum and looked after their children and kept the house, and now suddenly they've gone and they don't know who they are anymore. It's about going, okay, let's open up the possibilities to see what is, you know, what's out there, so that Karen can help them decide where they want to go, so she can then help them in the journey. So what possibilities or opportunities do you want to take your client towards? Thinking about Sarah actually and being a VA. So one of the ways that she works is giving back time to the business owner, opening up the possibilities. So one of the ways as a VA, you can say, well, if you had 10 hours a month, how would you use that? What would you do with that? What could you create in the business? So be really clear on what you do, your bigger goal, purpose and vision, and feed that back in and make sure you're meeting your customer, your client, your patient at that point, at the right point for them to be ready to work with you, so you can open up the possibilities and the opportunities for them and then show them the way. Show them what's possible. I wrote here on my notes, raise your client up. And when I wrote it down, it just felt, for me, that's absolutely what I want to do in my business. I want to raise every client up to their highest potential, to their highest earning, to their greatest place that they want to be. And how awesome is that for me that I get to do that? So it's why yesterday we had to go through the process. And if you were thinking at any point yesterday, when the hell is Lindsay going to get to the proper marketing stuff, you need to know what your purpose is. You need to know what your why is. You really need to connect that in, and you need to see how your business and marketing are connecting, which will lead to easier sales. Because only when you do this can you flip your marketing, change your marketing mindset, change the way you feel about marketing, and start connecting with your perfect ideal client every time, without trying. How awesome is that? Does that make sense? So I'm just going to check. Okay, Karen's just saying, yesterday's task helped. I really focus on those results people get, which can make a big difference to their lives. Thank you, Karen. How awesome is that when you totally connect in to the benefits, to the results, the transformation, the change? Pick a word. Your marketing will change. How you show up in your marketing message. When you truly understand who your client is, where they are at the journey, who you really want to work with, where you're mirroring them, what's important to you, your marketing becomes easier. And that's what we want. Easy marketing. I know you want easy marketing. I know you want marketing that attracts clients so that you can increase your income. But you kind of need to do some of the initial work at the beginning. But all of the things that we're talking about, and in the days to come, will all be making your marketing easier so you can attract your awesome client. And just marketing will become something you do. Marketing will become something that you do every day with ease and have the most fun doing it. So to recap some of the three sections today is really define your perfect client. Absolutely. Fall in love with your awesome client, and you do that by making sure that you're not a mismatch, looking in your own business and looking at where changes need to happen, where you're not working with a perfect client, or changes in your business that will enable you to weed out, to use, I think Kerry's term was weed out, to make sure that you don't bring the wrong client in for you, wrong for you and for them. Remember, it's a two-way street, so it's perfectly okay to say no to a client. They might not be right for you just now or at this point in time. All absolutely fine. And then the last part of it, of changing how you see marketing, is meeting them at the point they're at and showing them the way, showing them what's possible. I have loved today's training, because your ideal client, I just know, thinking about ideal clients, it's just like when you really truly understand them, and I'm not talking about how old they are and whether they're male or female or live in 10-mile radius, unless that's important to you. I'm talking about the values, the characteristics, what's important to them. I'm talking about where they're at in their journey, what they're struggling with. I'm talking about you then understanding that and using that in your marketing, so you absolutely attract the perfect for you client every single time, so you can open up the opportunities, you can open your client up for the transformations, that you can raise your client up to their full potential, to their greatest potential. And that's why I love what I do, because that's what I get to do every day. And I hope today I have infused you again for marketing, that you're starting to feel a bit more passionate about marketing in your business, and it's starting to feel better. You can see how you can make marketing more fun. It's all about the fun, really, for me anyway. And starting to see the process that I'm taking you through. And yes, I know you really want to know how to market in your business and what marketing techniques you should be using. Do this stuff and it won't matter. Do this stuff and you will attract them with ease, always. Although you'll be pleased to know in the workbook today, it does have a question around the how. And I'd love to know what you've written, having gone through the last 2 days. I just want to check there aren't any other questions. Okay, so if any questions have come up for you, while I've been doing this live or later in the day, please come back and put them in the comments. I will be watching for them. And of course, I will be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Equally, if between now and then you go, oh, I need to delve into this a bit longer, you know that you can always book a Business Freedom Coaching call. And we can look at it in a little bit deeper for you, because I'm going to imagine as you go through, while you may be filled with lots of ideas, there may be some fear that's coming up for you, and be okay with that. I was talking to the lovely Leanne yesterday, and she reminded me that fear and excitement is the same feeling. And often when I feel excited about something, like doing the live yesterday, I was really, really super pumped and excited, but I was also a bit fearful. Even me, I know. I'm no different from you. But I knew that was a good feeling because it was the right thing to do. When I feel excited and fearful, I know it's the right thing to do. So please check in with that intuition and make sure that you're connected with your intuition, so you do what's right for you and your business. And that is absolutely, I will leave that with you today. Always do what is right for you and for your business. There is no success blueprint. There is no marketing blueprint. You may have been sold them in the past. There is no PDF that is going to take you through a checklist and change everything for you, because if there was, we'd all be hugely successful charging $100,000 for a program. So always do what's right for you and your business. Thank you everyone for joining me this morning. You have been totally awesome. I have loved the energy. Yeah, Kerry's just put, feel the fear and do it anyway. Absolutely. I'll leave you with that. You have been awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.